What is good, everybody? Man, it's your boy Jay in the building. We's back giving another video. Alright, so the Legacy Bowl happened yesterday, and we're here to talk about it. And we're also gonna, watch the highlights of it. But first off, I want to say shout out to everybody. Shout out to, everybody who supported yesterday for the Legacy Bowl. I want to say this: there were some real good things to take from it. There were not so good things, and we're gonna speak about all of that. But a shout out to Hit Bottom and Antoine Collar for getting their MVPs. They definitely played well. But I think the person who I think benefited the most out of this game was definitely Marcus McLean. Without question, he caught every ball. He whether it was a good or bad throw, he caught every ball and had good runs after catches. And he was actually one of the most he was actually the person that a lot of the NFL scouts wanted to watch and see how he performed. After what he did in the HBCU combine, and him testing so well, they wanted to see how good he was going to play yesterday, and he played extremely well. He's a big sized receiver who definitely plays on the inside, so they wanted to see him all over the field. So if he puts on a few extra pounds, I guess they were saying that they wanted to try him out at tight end. That's kind of crazy, but I think, that's not a bad look for him, honestly. But he definitely played well. Akil Glass, in spite of him not scoring any points, especially in the first half, I think he played well. I think, he was getting his guys were dropping the ball. So it was nothing he could do about that. And that was one of the bad things that was happening yesterday. And you know what? Let's speak about that. The bad things that, that was happening yesterday, it was happening quite often. The drops, it was a lot of drops happening, a lot of bad throws, the missed kicks. It wasn't even the missed kicks, it was missed PATs, so it was a lot of close kicks that the guys were missing. And the game got a little sloppy in the middle of the game, toward the ending of the second half up until the fourth, the game was getting sloppy. There was a lot of penalties and just stupid mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So and especially the drops was the main thing. You had guys that was wide open that was getting the ball getting touched right in their hands, and they were dropping balls. So I think that was, hopefully it doesn't hinder them from at least getting a look at not only the NFL but overseas as well, because they did have scouts from overseas that was there, at their practice during the week. But some of the guys that really stuck out to me was Jermaine Martin had himself a decent day. In spite of him probably not having a lot of yards, the fact that he had tough yardage, it looked like at least 5 to 6 yards, a carry. Especially with him breaking a few tackles and him catching the ball out the backfield. I think that was a good look for him. Because look, you gotta remember, especially in 2019, Jermaine Martin was that dude. He had, over 20 touchdowns, 1,200, 1,300 yards rushing, and he was considered one of top 2 best players in HBCU football. And then this year, it was almost the complete opposite, especially with him not playing in 2020 and last season with them playing in a new conference. And on top of that, North Carolina A&T is moving into a different conference this year as well. So it was a lot of factors that kind of played into why Jermaine Martin didn't have the same season he had 2 years ago. But he still did decent yesterday. Other guys, Deshaun Dixon, had a hell of a game too. It probably didn't show up in the stat sheet, but if y'all really looked at him, Deshaun Dixon created pressure down there every time he was out there. You know, caused quarterbacks to have bad balls, but he played very, very well. Kristen Clark, the D tackle from Alabama State, he played well too. Al Young, cornerback from Jackson State, he had some good plays here and there. Jalen Thigpen. Now, if y'all saw that big hit that he had on Marcus McLean, where he got injured too, he had a few of those in this game. I don't know if a lot of people kind of really didn't catch it, but he played a decent game as well. Trey Gross was a guy who this week they had their eyes on because he was so much of a deep threat, and he had a real good season a year ago. He was first team all conference, and he had himself a decent day catching balls. But the eye-popping thing to me was there were a lot of Division II guys that had themselves a real good day. Starting off with Kyle Wilkins, who had the first touchdown of the game, running back from Bowie State. You also had Tevin Singleton, cornerback from Bowie State, who had himself a fumble recovery and some real good pass breakups in the first half. You also had Evan De La Rosa, the safety from Fayetteville State, had himself a forced fumble and a few good plays on defense. And also Bryce Witt, the quarterback from Shawan, who he played extremely well. You know, a big guy, 6'4", 230, 240, who can absolutely run. You know, and then you also had Zach Anderson from Fort Valley State, who made good plays on defense. And then you also had that tall receiver, Samir Bridges from Fort Valley State, 6'4", 6'5", and has a big old catch radius, like from here, like the arms is too long for me to demonstrate. But he had himself a good day as well. So there were a lot of these guys who definitely had themselves a real good day that I probably even missed. You know, so, you know, but definitely Marcus McLean to me was my offensive MVP. And that's only because he caught all the balls like I was throwing him. He didn't have a drop, and whether it was a good or bad throw, he made the catch. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to watch some of the highlights from the game, and we're going to see what we can conjure up from here. So, I don't know if y'all watched it or not. You know, for those that watch it and want to watch it with me, we can go ahead and do that as well, but we're going to go ahead and see what we can conjure up from this game, man. So, I don't know. You know, I kind of enjoyed it outside of the penalties and the missed kicks and all that. Like, I thought, you know, I really enjoyed it. You know, and I hope that this could be a thing, you know, a sign of good things to come, especially for the guys who didn't get invited to the NFL Combine, you know, or get invited to other All-Star games. You're going to see that a bad throw right there, but he made the catch, breaks the tackle, and keeps going. As Marcus.
And again, this is something.
Yeah, man, but that's something that he did most of the game. See right there, like
taking a shot to Corey Banks.
You know what I'm saying? Like plays like that, like you just have to make those plays. You know, that's Corey Banks from A&T, North Carolina A&T. But you see how he was wide open, like Higbee threw it right on the money, but he just dropped it. Like
deep down the sideline.
Those are just plays that you just have to make.
Down the shoot is what we call
you see this? Like you just have to make those plays.
You hand it to him any better
you got to make it.
That was a great throw by Higbee.
Knock people aside and get the running game going out of South Carolina State.
Higbee.
Big carry.
Higbee had himself a good day though. He definitely played well. He had some missed throws here and there as well, but he definitely had, you know,
Kickoffs will only occur
Two of the
at
guys that were
start of
open, but
each half.
some of
We've
them
already
dropped
had
it.
one.
But
No overtime.
he definitely played well.
Replay challenges.
Prominent guy a little bit more as the week went on.
Okay, handoff, number 30, Jermaine Martin. Player out of
defense.
North Carolina
Yeah, I mean, look,
A&T.
both
Big
defenses
stop.
played well
Breaks
in the
because
first half.
they might be gassed early, especially with the emotion of coming out and wanting to prove their wares.
Look at this.
Goes to silent.
See, like, that was a drop. Like, that was a good throw. He just dropped it. You see, like, just the misses, like.
Had a leg, but it was wide left.
That was one of the bad things that was happening.
Even before I get to glass, number 3 who caught it, remember I announced it as Trey Harrell? It was Taron Mallard. That is a tight end who's wearing number 3.
He's from Sewan as well. The dude who made that shot.
Now the pressure's really
He's from Sewan. I forgot his name. See, look, a drop.
Right there where D. Anderson,
Wide
his
open.
teammate,
So
didn't
like,
help him out on
just
the crossing.
wide
route.
open.
D. Anderson.
You just have to make those
Alabama
catches.
A&M. You saw Jermaine Martin get about 6 yards on that carry.
Jermaine Martin. You see how
We
Bruce,
talked about him running, Charles.
like,
For guys like you and me,
That's
when
a
we're
big
not
boy.
players, Steve, up here having an opportunity to do this game.
100%. And now we're
And see
seeing
how
Martin. They're going
Jermaine Martin was
run
tough,
heavy,
man.
Showcasing Jermaine Martin.
That's a
Gets
tough
the
run.
First down off the handoff from Witt.
see, yep. You see that big hit right there
Pass caught
by
McLean. He's
Jalen
had a
Thigpen?
really strong game. McLean's got an
He
interesting story
flew.
about him, Charles. Former
He
Auburn
flew in
wide
there.
receiver, Gross, who we've seen
got himself
all
hurt
week.
doing that,
He's
too.
Big time. He's there, Charles. There he is.
That was a good catch,
They're
but
saying that he is out of
incomplete.
bounds. Trey Gross from
That was
Delaware
definitely a good
State has
catch.
been making spectacular deep catches all
But-
week.
To the next quarter. Nice catch, but the foot comes down out
see?
of bounds. Good call
Yeah.
by the
Number
official.
78 is declined. That is the end of the first quarter. By game rules, Team Robinson will put the ball in play to start the second quarter.
That's the game as we see it today, isn't it?
And he goes to the quick pass right
that
there.
was a good throw. You see, man, look,
Nice catch,
Bruce Witt was
upfield
out there
run.
dealing.
That's the type of player Totten is, a versatile
So
type of player.
hopefully Bruce Witt stock rolls up. He was a CIAA Offensive Player of the Year. But you see how good
Continues to
Jermaine
move the
Martin
chains.
running?
Tate
Like,
Gaither here now got a nice drive
Yeah.
going. They're really
He was doing some
mixing
good
in the run
things.
to pass, Charles. Territory. And there's that man again.
Good catch.
Marquise McLean. Nice
Marquise
catch.
McLean, man, like, he was out there work, but
A little behind him.
McLean was out there working.
Block those guys, put body on body and moving them.
It's 3rd and 5. Oh, great patience by Witt as he
Kyle Wilkins.
running back. Khalil Watkins emerged.
Khalil
from the
Watkins.
backfield. We do have a flag on the field.
Run against corners.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 94. Defense.
yeah, man, just like stupid penalties like that. Like,
Is a touchdown.
All right, we
There
go
were
for
a lot
points
of
on the board.
penalties in
Team
this game.
Gaither.
look, another missed kick. Like, you can't.
As he
Y'all,
can-
like,
as
y'all-
he
y'all-
misses
y'all can't
wide
do that.
right, 6-0. You should
Like,
play your first team all
That's the
SWAC.
second missed kick.
You saw, okay, he
Look,
goes
and then look, a fumble, forced fumble.
And they're going to let that one play out. Remember, there is no replay, so it goes as called, and it's being called a catch.
But yeah, like, you know, you can't.
And a recovery for Team Gaither
And that was Javon
You
Frazier
gotta
on the
protect the
recovery.
ball.
Picked it up.
to pop it free for Team Gaither. Little short route across
Samir-
the middle. He gets it. and
Samir
he's able to
Bridges,
get up
yeah,
because of
but
NFL rules.
you gotta
Nice
protect
pop
the
there
ball.
by Wesley Bowers, linebacker, Bowie State. Picked up by number 22, Javon Frazier from Virginia State and Delaware State.
Snap. There it is. You called
Yeah,
it.
that I was just a bad,
Harder sailed than
threw
all.
out of bounds,
Do you
but
kick it here? Do you kick it here? Do you want to showcase the kicker? Or do you want to showcase the offensive players?
Myself, I showcase the offensive players.
On a 16-yard.
and he had a chance. But both these guys did not follow the rules at all. Like, ain't nobody followed the rules.
Couldn't get downfield at
Like,
all.
during the
Changed
whole
rules.
game, they were doing 3-by-1.
All right, 1st and 10 for Team Gaither. I've seen Juwan Carter escape right here, and that's just something he can really do. The Norfolk State quarterback, the MEAC Player of the Year. And he was a little negative.
But they played well,
Trying
though.
to get the attempts. Big throw by Juwan Carter.
Yeah, he played well for real.
Yeah, but you can't change the rules on the fly.
Come here. See?
Figure it out.
Ooh, and a scramble by Carter as he scrolls right, throws it up.
See, like, look, Mark, look, see, in that counted, like, now they would have did a replay, and they probably would have called it back, but the fact that he got up there and grabbed it,
play that we've seen
like that, like,
Bucky, take us through this.
look at this.
Look, nice scramble, but more so, look at the catch. But more importantly, the way that he gets his feet
Man,
inbounds.
like, that dude, Marcus McClain, was an absolute beast.
Which he did not.
Remember,
beasting.
look, I have to give it to him. It looked like that, so I have to get close.
This man coverage on him, so the opportunity is there.
Mm.
There he is.
Come here. Yep.
Direct snap. Takes it
There
and
it is.
scores up the middle.
He was out here working. He was working. Look, another missed kick. Like, that's like the worst thing that could have happened.
The
Like,
next one is right down
that's
the middle.
crazy.
Pass takes the snap out of the shotgun, steps up, makes the throw. Nice throw.
Juwan Pass didn't play bad either.
He gets that ball out to Charles Pringle from all.
Charles Pringle did, you know, he had himself a decent day as well.
They may have had an agreement with each other. Guys, we don't have enough people. Let's go 3-by-1.
And they saw a pass.
Enjoying, yeah.
Pulls it out. Nice scramble, a little deception.
I mean, he could have floated in there, but then the bigger thing is pass courageous and
And I look like a far start on the bottom.
Ezra Gray with a nice run right there.
I think Ezra Gray could definitely make,
Bucky, don't you just have to
he could definitely be a contributor on the team. Like, I think they're definitely going to have him
6'4", 230
as a
pass.
kick returner.
Takes it over the left guard. Gets to the
Like,
end of the
he can
first
definitely
play.
be somebody's kick returner
Finally on the board.
on the NFL team.
Collins is going to try to make it.
And look, like, this.
Looks like he pulled it left.
Dog, these kicks, bro. Like, it was,
No.
it was crazy to look at.
Both teams just said we got to be able to go 3-by-1.
Hickbottom takes off on the scramble.
Yep.
Gets the first down. A big run up the middle. His team Gaither.
Yeah, that's what he was known for.
Again, haven't seen his
That's what he can do
quarterback
best.
Under center much. And he lets it fly. A beautiful
Yep.
throw to Meek Watkins out to Wam, but he lost the ball at the end of the play. Let's see
And Meek Watkins is also from
Look,
Sawan.
they're marking it down.
First down.
They're also from Sawan.
Bucky, you were wanting those 4 verticals. I think you got it there.
keeps it
Hit bottom for the score.
On the fake and easy run. Hickbottom
Yep.
just had a fantastic drive.
Oh, yeah.
they don't get bumped by the linebackers that drop.
And Bruce Witt.
Quick slant on 4th down. Threw it behind. Witt put the ball behind McDaniels right there. We're going to have a turnover on downs. This is 2-down territory. Looking at the time of the game.
Akil.
Glass goes for the sticks.
Now this was when like he was after like him not playing for a whole 2.5 quarters. He was probably cold,
Glass, another
but
nice catch. Anderson.
What a catch there by Anderson, because that looked like it was about to get airmailed, Bucky Brooks.
Yeah,
D. Anderson didn't have a bad game either. Outside of that, probably that 1 or 2 drops that he had.
Big time, tough play right there.
We're just rolling.
Frazier from Virginia State.
Glass steps up, gets on miscommunication with his receiver Shamar Bridges. That will do it offensively for Team Robinson.
So we're gonna cut that off right there. Yeah. So look, I hope that that some of these guys could benefit from what happened yesterday, especially some of the D2 guys that played. But Akil Glass, I think Akil Glass, whether he had a good game or not, I think he'll be drafted. I think Marcus McClain benefited the most out of yesterday. And I think there are going to be a few NFL teams, although I don't know if he may be drafted or not, but I think he'll be invited to somebody's camp this summer. I think he'll definitely be invited. I think Deshaun Dixon could be drafted in the late rounds. I think Jermaine Martin could probably either get drafted or definitely get picked up or signed by the end of the draft, or at the end of the draft, where where they do like the non-drafted free agents. A lot of them get signed a day or 2 after the draft. So hopefully that can happen. But the Division II guys, I believe, could definitely did a good job, or did a good enough job for them to at least get a look. But I think this should happen more often. Hopefully this is a reoccurring thing for years and years to come. Shout out to all of the guys, all the YouTube guys that were there. Shout out to Blue Blood. Shout out to Cut Day. You know, if I'm missing anybody, I apologize. But yeah, this was definitely a good thing for it to happen, and I hope it happens often. But you know, hopefully this guy. And shout out to Destroying too. I saw that he was there. I saw on his IG that he was there. That's a real cool thing. But you know, hopefully we can get that done for years to come, and we're gonna see what happens, man. But and then we have the NFL Combine. We have 4 HBCU players that's gonna be in the Combine. So y'all look out for that in the next 2 or 3 weeks or so. But I'm out of here. Y'all have yourself a good one, and we have. Hey, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'm out.